Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church's Music Minute. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry here in Richmond, Virginia. And this is our opportunity to take a look at our online hymns for tomorrow in a little more detail, a sneak preview, if you will. So we're going to go out of order this week. And tomorrow is the fourth Sunday of Easter. And that, as you may know, is Good Shepherd Sunday. So we will have the 23rd Psalm and several references to the shepherd. So we're going to start with Savior Like a Shepherd Lead Us. I think that's an old-time hymn that a lot of folks know. And that was originally written as a Sunday school tune. It appeared in a Sunday school primer kind of hymnal. And that's where it first appeared. And the tune, although it is attributed to some writers, actually, it's anonymous. So we really don't know who wrote this. It came in as anonymous in its first appearance, and so I'm not sure why we felt like we had to put somebody on it, but we did. And so it's questionable, though, that they actually get true credit for that. So this is Savior Like a Shepherd Lead Us. So some rich harmonies in there. Hopefully you enjoyed those. Sometimes you don't get to hear those when we're singing the straight harmony from the hymn. All right, keeping with our shepherd theme, the sending hymn tomorrow will be The Lord's My Shepherd. And this was a well-known setting of the 23rd Psalm, and it's a Scottish tune. And the tune comes from Scotland, in a tune that we date back to about the mid-17th century. However, it was never put into hymn form until about the 19th century. So a 19th century composer took this 17th century tune and made this hymn. It's named Brother James Eyre, and that was for James Lythe Macbeth Bain. He was born in Scotland, and he had moved from, he had quite a life, and he moved around. He was a Christian believer, but then he became agnostic, and then he went to become a mystic poet in the end. So I'm not sure at which point he actually wrote this, but it's obviously based on Psalm 23, which is coming from the Bible. So this particular setting of Brother James Eyre is going to combine it with some other things. So you're going to hear, it's called Shepherd Songs. So you'll hear The Lord is My Shepherd, the Brother James Eyre that we just talked about. You'll hear St. Columba, which has, it's the King of Love, My Shepherd Is. And then Resignation, which is another version of the Shepherd Song. So this is Shepherd Songs. A lovely combination of the three shepherd songs. And then we're going to flip back to the gathering hymn. And this is a divine Easter hymn, Now All the Vault of Heaven Resounds. Also probably known to many as All Creatures of Our God and King, or maybe even Ye Watchers and Ye Holy Ones. It comes up in lots of different contexts. The hymn text was actually written to go with this tune originally, to the All Creatures of Our God and King, and that appeared in Service Book and Hymnal, for those who remember the old red hymnal. And the tune came from the 16th century, so we're really dating it back there. It took until the 20th century, though, so 4 centuries later, until it really appeared in all these ecumenical senses that I just mentioned. So All Creatures of Our God and King, which is kind of an Episcopal thing that came in, looking at All Saints, and All Creatures of Our God and King was St. Francis and Creation, and of course this one for Easter. And when you get a chance to look at the text, the Alleluias are a perfect punctuation at the end to all that Easter message. And in the reflection tonight, we're going to hear over on the organ some variations on this. And there is a trio in here. It's the third movement in. And the trio actually combines 3 different things, as you might have guessed with the trio. So it'll have the All Creatures of Our God and King, or Now All the Vault of Heaven Resounds. But it's also going to have that Easter Day with Joy Was Bright that we just did a couple of weeks ago. That'll be another theme that you'll hear in that trio. And some of these you'll have to listen a little more closely to hear the melody. It's buried in and amongst a lot of chords sometimes. So we're going to go over to the organ, and we'll do Now All the Vault of Heaven Resounds. can sort of feel the vault. And it was sort of ingenious, the words that they put in there, the vault of heaven resounding. As you sing through it to this tune, you can imagine the vault when you're down low, and as you're higher in your tessitatory in your voice, when you're singing, it's more of the earthly sound. So it's actually brilliant that it was pieced with that. So thank you for joining us tonight, and if you're joining us tomorrow in person, again, please make sure you sign up for that. That's at 9 o'clock and 10:30. And if you're Facebook or YouTube, that's at 10:30. Thanks again for joining. We'll look forward to being together. Actually, we will not have it next week. Next week is Youth Sunday, and so Music Minute will take a break next week, and we'll look forward to the youth sharing their worship, their talents with us during that worship service. Thanks. Have a good evening.